The life and sad ending of Israel Kamakawiwo'ole. The most popular entertainer in Hawaii until his tragic death in 1997, Israel Kamakawiwo'ole formed the traditional Makaha Sons as a teenager in the mid-70s, went out on his own in more of a contemporary style by the 1990s, and released 4 immensely popular recordings before passing away just after the release of 1996's In Dis Life. Born in the Honolulu suburb of Kaimaki, Kamakawiwo'ole later moved to nearby Makaha. In allegiance to his new home, Israel formed the Makaha Sons of Niihau with brother Skippy plus Louis Moon Kauakahi, Sam Gray, and Jerome Coco. The Makaha Sons recorded No Cristo in 1976 and released 5 more albums during as many years, though Skippy's death of a heart attack in 1982 came as quite a blow to his younger brother. The group soldiered on and became Hawaii's most popular traditional group with breakout albums like 1984's Puana Hu Mi Ke Aloha and its follow-up, 1986's Ho'ola. Israel Kamakawiwo'ole decided to begin recording on his own with 1990's Ka Anoi, which became the most popular Hawaiian album of the year. Though he continued his solo career, by 1991 he had recorded with the Makaha Sons of Niihau again, and that year's Makaha Bash 3 set still more records in Hawaii, thanks in part to the single Broken Promise. Another Makaha LP, Ho'oluana, appeared in 1992, though it was the last with Israel. His second solo effort, Facing Future, appeared in 1993, and 1995's E Ala'i featured a reunited duet with Skippy, thanks to studio technology. Israel continued to win awards and sell very well with 1996's In Dis Life, but his ballooning weight problem at times, he weighed over 750 pounds, caused his early death at the age of 38. After his death, IZ's single Over the Rainbow, What a Wonderful World charted numerous times, first in 2004 when appearances in various commercials and movies helped it climb to number 12 on Billboard's Hot Digital Tracks chart. In 2010, Europe fell under its spell as its use in commercials drove airplay on the radio, and it topped the charts in both France and Switzerland while it reached number 6 in Austria. As of 2015, the song has sold over 5 million digital copies. Israel weighed close to 700 pounds when he came to DeMello to start a solo career in 1993. He was in and out of the hospital. His brother Skippy died from complications of obesity, as had almost all of Israel's immediate family. He knew he was destined for a brief life. To DeMello, everything Israel sang and said became precious. So he instructed his engineers to keep the tape rolling for all the rehearsals, all the jokes. Israel was a very funny man, he says. And every session, I would keep him for an hour afterward. Just tell me stories, he told Israel. There was such great content in what this beautiful Hawaiian man was talking about, the trials and tribulations of his own life and his family's life. I was scared when I lost my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, Israel told DeMello. I guess this is gonna sound kind of weird, but I am not scared for myself for dying. Because I believe all these places are temporary. This is just one shell. Because we Hawaiians live in both worlds. It's in our veins. When our time comes, don't cry for me. Don't cry for me. Plant a tree in the middle, where they play soccer, he laughs. Kind of small, then it'll grow big. In the summer of 1997, Israel Kamakawiwo'ole, by then one of the most beloved singers in the history of Hawaiian music, died of respiratory failure. He was 38, and just beginning to see the huge success of Over the Rainbow. Israel's body lay in state at Hawaii's Capitol building, a rare honor. Days later, he was cremated, along with his vintage Martin ukulele, the one he used to record Over the Rainbow. The ashes were carried on a traditional Hawaiian voyaging canoe. His longtime friend Del Beasley and producer John DeMello were among those on board. And going down the coastline, says De Mello, all the big semi-trucks on the island of Oahu had their air horns blowing. And from the ocean, we could hear the echo, the bounce off the mountain ranges.